Okay, this is a simple response which takes a request and returns an HTTP response with hello world, you are at the pause index. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to point my URLs to this view. So let me create a view, call it welcome, which will, let me import it from polls app dot views import index our view. So if the user hits the welcome path, it will be directed to the index view. Let us this server auto reloads upon changes. This is already implemented. We don't have to stop and restart the server. So let me check. If I type welcome, I got my HTTP request back. So the URL received the request. It knew that welcome will have to be redirected to this view. This view was in here. It received the request and returned an HTTP response. Hello world, you're at the pause index. This is the simplest form of HTTP responses. So let us continue to run server. Part 2, so we set up the database. Let us create the models. As we said, the Django comes with the ORM, which stands for Object Relational Mapper models. So I don't have to manually write queries to the database. I can just use the ORM, which will be question text, which is a char field of max length equal to 200, and I have the publish date, which is a datetime field. Okay, I have the choice model. It contains a foreign key to the question. So a question have multiple choices. On the list, I have models.cascade. I can see these options in the documentation. Choice text is a char field, and I have votes, which is an integer field. I'm creating a polls app where user can log in and vote. Okay, so activating model. In order for these models to be inserted into the database, first of all, I have to make sure that in my installed application, I have the polls app in here, and so do I. Next, I have to create migration. Again, I have manage.py, make migrations. Forgive me, I'm not seeing what you're writing. If anyone has any questions, you are free to unmute and talk, please. I will run this command, make migration, which checks for any changes in the models and translate it to a script that will be translated later to SQL. So let me enter. Okay, I have in polls app an initial migration which creates a model question and model choice. Let me show you a pic of the migration created. Okay, operation. This is a Python script which will be translated to SQL. I have migration start create model question. I have fields ID, which was auto added. It is auto created. It is set as primary true, serialized, variables.name, question text. So in order to translate these models to the database and apply the migration, I have to run Python manage.py migrate. Okay, so this migration was applied. Let me run the server again. Okay, the server is up and running. Let me go to the admin panel again. I don't have my models in here yet, so let me register them. I can go to the admin.py file. In here, I can write. Anyone?
Hassan, so you mean that the Django help us very much to not write code which is already
It comes pre-shipped, yes, with several packages and applications that we can build on. It speed up the development significantly.
okay, great.
Yes, let me import my model. I was trying to add my models in here. So first of all, I have to import from Pulse app dot models import a question and what did I have as choice? Question and a choice, and I have to register them in here. Admin dot site dot register the question, admin dot site dot register the choice model. So I hit save, the server auto refresh. So let me refresh the page. So I have in here the Pulse app and the choices and questions models. This is the power of Django. So let me try to add a question. I can add a question. What is, for example, your name? Date published today, save. I have a question object. Let me change the str of it. So this is a question, def str, just to show it nicely. So return. This is pure Python. I will write self.question text, and this is enough. Okay, refresh. So I have a question which is, what is your name? I can delete it, I can edit it. This is all implemented. Okay, let me add a question. Oh no, I mean a choice. So I can add a choice as well. I can foreign key, use the foreign key. What is your name? Choice checks, for example, Hassan. No votes for now. I can add another choice for the same question. For example, Abed, save. Okay, I have two choice object. Let me continue with the documentation. We won't fall behind. This is when I run python.py migrate. This is the SQL code that was translated. Okay, but I don't have to deal with SQL as ORM covers it. It is mapped. Okay. So let us play with the shell. We talked about the ORM. Let us play with the Django shell. What is the Django shell? Python manage.py shell. And here I have control to the models and packages and functions in my project. So let me show you an example from Pulse app dot models import question. Okay, let us say q1 equal question dot objects dot first. This is the Django ORM. I'm grabbing the first question object, enter. So let me print q1 to make sure it is what we added in the admin panel. This is it. What is your name? Okay, I can create a new question. For example, question dot objects dot create. The question have question text field and a published date. So let me import date time. This is pure Python in here. Again, question.object.create. Let me question underscore text equal whatever, and the publish date equal date time dot now, for example, or dot date time dot now. Okay, so I added my, let me run my exit to exit the shell. run server to make sure that the question was added. Question. I have the newly created object in here. Okay, this is the Python, the Django shell. And I was using the Django ORM from Pulse app.models import question. I can grab all questions, for example, questions equal question.objects.all for Q, for example, in questions print Q. So I have two questions in here. Here I'm writing, this is the Django ORM. This is translated to select star from question, from Pulse app.question. Okay, let me continue. Abed, when will the presentation end? How much time do we still have?
Time, no problem.
About what?
We have time, no problem.
Okay, okay. So let us continue with the documentation. Or
Hassan,
introduction.
can you, what are the major companies use the Django? I heard Instagram, I think.
Yes, Instagram, NASA. Let us do a Google search. Companies using Django. We have discussed Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Washington Post, Bitbucket, Dropbox, Eventbrite. So Django is very useful and used. Why companies are betting on this framework?
Yes, why?
This is a very worth learning framework. As we said, yani.
I think it's invented by developers who are using PHP and then they move it to create a new framework for
rapid development, right? It was a blog. It was created at first to create a blog, but then it became open source and progressed like a lot since then. Okay, internet, slow internet, whatever. Anybody have any questions for now? Okay. Let me add this field or this function in the model question, which says is if the question was published recently, it returns the time zone.now whatever in the question. So okay, so let me try in here break exit. Let me load the shell again from Pulse app.models import question. Okay, let us say question dot objects dot first dot was published recently. I have bound method. Let me check. Question equal. Okay, question print question dot was published recently. Let me call it. Time zone is not defined. Import. So I will have to import time zone in here. Do I have any more imports? Nope. Exit. This Django shell is very powerful for real. So shell no model Django.utils import time zone. Save. From polls app dot models import question dot objects dot first dot was. Let me copy it. Okay, and we'll call it. I have date time is not defined. Oh, what a loop. Import date time. Again, this should work for now. From polls app dot models import question dot objects dot first dot was recently. I have true. So this question was recently published. So let us continue. This is the last. They went to. Okay, whatever. So basically, this is what we saw. Let me revise. So we said that Django is a web framework for written in Python for web development, for rapid web development. And we said that the framework is the foundation and set of tools and modules designed to be built on. We said that Django is a full stack. It contains front. It can be used for front end and back end. It follows the MVC. It forces us to do things their way, and it is scalable and supports several applications for the same project. It comes loaded with the dynamic admin interface, nice router, single responsibility views. We have the views in here. We have the preloaded SQLite support. We have the manager.py, the manager of our project. We have the admin file. We have the settings file, which can be, I can edit the allowed host, the debug, the secret key, which should be kept secret. We saw the Python, the Django shell, which is in here. We used the ORM layer, which will be translated to SQL. This should be it. Anyone have any questions? Hello? Can I see this thread in here? Abid?
Yes, Hassan. Yes. Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay, Abid, I'm open for any questions you have.
I think you explained enough. Don't know if anyone still have questions.
Did you unmute them?
No, they can unmute themselves.
So, Abed.
Okay, so you are done?
Yes, I am done.
Okay, thank you everyone for those who followed us and keep forward for next events. Thank you, Hassan.
Thank you for coming, Lauren. Thank you, Abed.
Thank you very much.
We should make some workshop later on.
Yes, I think we should begin with basics of Python and then to move on to advanced levels.
Yes, sure. The path to being a good Django developer requires you can learn Django in about 3 weeks, in my opinion. But to be a professional, you have to have a minimum of 1 year of experience, 1 to 3 years of experience, professional experience. You have to create big projects.
Can you tell us about your job? What you are doing now at Code?
In my current position, I'm a backend developer at Codemos. My mission is to create and manage database. Let me show you my code base. I have to design the database and create APIs using the famous Django REST framework. So this is my project, the project I'm working currently on. As you can see, I have the settings. I have several applications. Each app contains some models, some templates, HTML templates. We didn't talk about these. I have the admin.py, a bit more advanced admin.py. I have some logic, enums, managers, posting, whatever, serializers to respond as JSON. I have my views in here. Okay, the same we talked about, but a bit more deep. We have several applications. Separation of concerns. Django follows this approach. So each app can be included in another project as a standalone in here. Let me check if I can share. Let me check if I can share my mobile screen.
Sorry, Hassan. I'm not unmuting you, but there is some
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Did you all hear what I was saying about my project?
Yes.
Abid, can I share my mobile screen with them?
Yes,
Let me check.
you can try on the phone. Oh,
So I will have to stop sharing on my PC at first. Okay,
there is share screen, yes, iPhone via AirPlay.
Hello, I was muted. Okay, so let me try to share my mobile screen with you. iPhone via cable, iPhone via AirPlay. Oh, I have to install a third-party library, our plugin. Okay.
You can try
Connect
movie
Wi-Fi. Hassan's iPhone. Tap screen mirroring. Wait, habit. ثواني. I couldn't share my mobile screen with you.
Try
but
movie record.
No problem. This is I'm plugging in my earphones, Abed. I cannot. I'm responsible for building these APIs, for example, which the mobile app can uses them. Okay, this is a simple API for taking an addition. Codmos is a trivia game which offers great rewards and real rewards, cash and special prizes. It is like the Pulse app we talked about, but it's a bit advanced. Okay, I have, for example, I developed all these APIs. This is API of profile page. So username, Codmos, first name, whatever, last name, gender. This is my position. Create APIs, logic, and database.
Hassan, we are not seeing your desktop.
Why? Let me check. Screen not playing. Sorry. This is my first time using the Zoom app, so I'm sorry. So 73309525854. Can you let me in?
Yes, you are seeing.
Okay, guys, these are some examples of the APIs I create. For example, this is the additions list, like in the main page. I can visit the challenges or read articles, challenges. Okay, I have these. I don't know if you can see.
Yes.
I have the profile API. I have so many APIs. I have to write tests for them. Okay, I have to write tests to create them, create the logic, create documentation. So these are the documentations of my APIs. Like I have about 50 or like so. I have post APIs to whatever, to answer questions, to tag users, to upload avatars, edit profiles. I have the profile, the friends API, the friend, the leaderboard, all this stuff. I'm solely a backend developer. I don't write HTML, for example. So I handle the server side development.
Nice. So what do you recommend for those who want to become a back-end developer or a developer in general and start earning money?
The marketplace is very competitive. To be a professional developer, first of all, you have to take a path. For example, let us say web development. You can be a full stack developer. You can be a front end or back end developer. You can be a DevOps engineer. Let me talk about the back end development. In back end, you have to pick
Okay, seems someone was not in the Simon. He was not with us. So if you can explain in briefly what we presented. Oh yeah.
Okay. We talked about the Django web framework. We talked a little bit about the MVC. We talked about Flask, about what Django offers out of box, the ORM, the dynamic admin interface, the router engine, the single responsibility views, the ORM object relational mapper, the template engine. We said that Django has a very good documentation and very good community and support. I highly recommend you learn it and take the path to be a professional developer, to create websites and web applications with it. What did you tell me, Abed?
You can open the presentation and the slides.
Okay, but let me continue what I was saying. To be a backend developer. Okay, let this be shown. So I was saying, to be a backend developer, first of all, you have to pick a framework. You have, for example, Django. We were talking about. We have the Node.js. Django can help you build softwares faster, but Node.js are faster in the as responses, as it can handle more users per request, more requests per second. This is the only app for Node.js, in my opinion. Otherwise, absolutely go for Django. After picking your framework, you have to dig deep in its language. For example, Django, you have to learn Python. Then you will have to learn Django and web development. You have to learn about HTTP requests and methods. You have to, let me check. There's so much to learn. يعني في عندك asynchronous programming، في عندك database for sure, database design, database. You have to learn about SQL, relational and no relational databases. Docker is a plus. We have to be a backend developer, you have to have a good understanding of algorithms, as you have to implement some algorithm and to calculate time complexity of your APIs. You have to know about RESTful APIs, to learn about RESTful APIs and why we use them. You will have to learn about JSON. You will have to know a little bit about front end and how to communicate with them. You have to learn about authentication, OAuth, and whatever. You have really so much to learn, yani.
Yes, we are in.
You just have to have your first steps.
Yes.
In the market.
Okay, Hassan, thank you again. We have a recording. We will send it to the attendees so they can check again what happened, what they can do. If anyone also have a question, you can ask here,
You
or
can ask me.
if you can share us your email, so if anyone has.
Feel free to contact me on my LinkedIn account. I'm Hassan Hamoud. I will share. Can you share my link with Mabed?
Yes, sure.
Okay, we will send them.
Okay. Thank you, Hassan, again very much. Happy all to meet
No
you.
problem.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Have a nice day.
Ya Allah.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, goodbye. Goodbye.